LA is a majority renter city and community, and yet we are extremely rent burdened. We're paying more than 30% of our incomes on rent. Our housing stock in Los Angeles are majority owned by corporations that systematically evict low-income and often immigrant tenants for profit.
For the last 20 years, we've been watching our community change slowly. It's just that within the last 5 years, it's been accelerated. We are sitting in the Crenshaw corridor, which is like the hottest real estate market right now in the basin of LA. Once they want to come in and buy properties, then the next thing we know, they're unaffordable for us and we're out.
TOPA is like step one out of a 300-step sort of plan in order to bring back power to community. To really have the community determine the way they shape the landscape, the housing, the relationship to land and green space. I remember being in a meeting with a building we're working to acquire, and the tenants, once they heard we reached a deal with the seller, just the joy in their faces and being able to stay home, and then following up with what is your vision with staying here? This is a place not just for me, it's for my kids, it's for my grandkids.
I'm an educator, activist, community organizer. I started getting involved with Eastside Cafe, which is an autonomous community space. At that time, a developer was trying to purchase Eastside Cafe. He said, if Eastside Cafe is able to put a down payment on escrow, I will back out. And we were able to raise over $200,000 in 10 days as a community. The community land trust was a model to support affordable housing, but also to get land back and put it in the hands of the people.
We started talking about how we could be strategic in implementing policy and fundraising and making sure that we would address the racial and economic inequalities that historically have affected our communities and impacted by development for profit. So how do we change that extractive way of housing and make it affordable in the long run? Changing the narrative, right? Rebuilding a CLT ecosystem that protects, repairs, and invests in our communities. We need to continue fundraising. We need to continue exploring other strategies, other policies that will allow us to protect our communities and be able to transform them one block at a time.
As an urban planning student, I was able to gain the vocabulary and really understand the systems in which our families had to operate within. Coming from community and understanding that a lot of us don't have the agency to shape what our neighborhoods look like in order to really support community development where residents have the agency to shape their own neighborhoods.
Well, I guess to say the main goal is to stop the gentrification in our neighborhoods. That's a goal. How we collectively get together and accomplish that goal is with policies, ideas, and collaborating for funding together. I think as a coalition, we are stronger and we're better and we get the word out to more communities.
TOPA is short for Tenant Opportunity to Purchase Act. And a TOPA policy in Los Angeles will provide more opportunities for tenants to access homeownership. It's quite simple as a policy. When a landlord decides to sell their property, they simply have to notify their tenants and offer the opportunity to purchase that building to the tenants who already live in the building. So TOPA gives the tenants time to control what decisions are made about their homes.
When you think about it, we're in all of the 5 supervisory districts, and just making sure that the people that live in the communities that have been living there for the years that they have a stake in the community. They should have first right to not have to be pushed out. I believe that's the goal, and we're accomplishing that together.